In this talk, I'm going to be talking about two major things. In the first part, I'm going to be talking about meteors and meteor showers, what they are and how best to observe them. And in the second part, I'm going to be talking about the Leonid Meteor Showers specifically, and also I'm going to be focusing more on observation for the year 2018. So firstly, talking about meteor showers are basically these unusual occurrences of a large number of meteors in our night sky. So meteor showers have this long duration of an activity. So activity refers to the time in which we can see these meteors. However, they have a very short peak time. So the peak time is basically the time in which most of the meteors for that particular meteor shower can be seen. And there are 10 meteor showers or 10 or so meteor showers which have peaks of more than peaks where you can observe more than 10 meteors per hour. So some of the more famous ones, they include the Perseids, the Geminids, as well as the Quadrantids. In the case of the Leonids, we have peaks of roughly about 15 to 20 meters per hour. Also, a very important point to note about meteor showers is what we call the radiant. So a radiant is basically a point in the night sky from which it appears that these meteors are coming from. So basically, in astronomy, we have a convention where we name meteor showers after the points, after the constellations in which their radiant points lie. So for example, this means that the Leonids are basically meteors which originate or which have radiant points in the constellation of Leo, which is one of the 13 zodiac constellations. Yes, there are 13. The last, the one that many people don't expect to be a constellation of the zodiac is called Ophiuchus. So moving on, talking about meteors. So meteors are basically the remnantary fragments of comets, which our Earth it encounters as it passes through its orbit. So comets like the Halley and like the Hale-Bopp, they leave behind debris in their orbits when they enter the inner solar system. So this debris comprises of ice, gas, and dust. So when this debris enters our atmosphere, due to friction, they heat up. And when they heat up, they emit large bursts of light. So these meteors are basically those large bursts of light which we see in the night sky. So now I'm going to be talking about the Leonids in particular and specifically. So the Leonids, they are a unusually bright but very rare kind of meteors. Normally we have peaks of up to 15 to 20, which is the expected number for this year as well. So this peak number is for perfect conditions. So basically this means you must have a decent night sky with no light pollution, no to minimal light pollution. And so in the context of major cities of Nepal, such skies might not be readily available. So the peak may lessen to a number of about 15 to about 5 to 10. So moving on, another important characteristic of the Leonids is their outbursts. So basically an outburst is itself a peak of peaks. What I mean by that is in outbursts, even during the peak time, you have an unusually large number of meteors even for the peak. So for the Leonids, we have outbursts where we can see hundreds of meteors per hour in comparison to the lowly amount of 15 to 20 peaks during times when there is no outburst. So such an outburst last occurred in 2009, and it was also documented by Nepal Astronomical Society. There was an observation campaign in Nagarjun in Nagarkot, and in that observation campaign, observers were able to see more than 150 meteors per hour, despite the foggy weather that was prevalent in that place. So you can see that these Leonids have the capability of becoming very interesting, very spectacular displays. And even though there is no outburst predicted for this year, I can safely say that because of the Leonid Meteor's properties of having very spectacular views and very slow moving meteors, it will be a very wonderful sight for anyone who's interested in watching them. So please watch the Leonid Meteor Showers. They're going to take place in the early hours of Sunday morning, the November of 18th. So what I mean by that is you must stay awake on Saturday night after 12 a.m. to watch these meteors, or you must wake up really early on Sunday morning, the 18th of November, to watch these meteors. And these meteors are going to be in the constellation of Leo. And general observing the general principles for observing include please do not use electronic devices often, because it will mess with your dark eye adaptation, which will result in you not being able to see many meteors. And also, this is my personal suggestion, please find at least a mattress or something to lie down on, because you'll need access to the entire night sky, and it'll be very difficult if you have a stiff neck, or if you look at the sky for too long, you will end up with a stiff neck. So please please have a mattress ready, and please keep warm, because temperatures are known to drop to about 5-6 degrees Celsius during that time. So it'll be cold and you might need a blanket. So please keep all that in mind. And another important fact is you won't need any kind of optical device like a binocular or a telescope to observe these meteor showers. You can observe them with your naked eye. And you'll be able to see those meteors in the general east direction after Leo has risen, which will rise at about 12 a.m. that particular night. So you'll have a great view of meteors if you're able to see them, and there will be spectacular, slow-moving, really bright meteors. And for the ones who are going to be watching for the first time, it promises to be a very good show. Keeping all those things in mind, I do hope you watch the Leonids. They're going to be very good. And do not forget the time, November 18, Sunday morning, early hours, after 12 a.m. on Saturday. Thank you. Okay. Kau time was?